Ooh, look at all these people coming in here.
Hello.
Hi. Look at everybody's coming in. Awesome. See, we're already off to a good start.
It said 80 people said
Yeah.
they were.
And so I'm about to see how many actually, but look, they keep coming in. So, hey, maybe that New Year's resolution is going to. I see Amy on here. Look, y'all just making my night for real. Hey, I'm so excited. I'll just give it a couple of more seconds to let people get in here. It's just 7 o'clock on the dot right now. How are y'all doing?
Hey, good people. Doing good. How are you?
Jamie?
Doing good.
Man, stressed.
Great.
Stuff on my face right now, but then I'll get on video.
No problem. Here's Jess. And Jess is her birthday's tomorrow. So
Ooh.
Today, you say?
almost birthday girl, Jessica.
Oh, yes. Happy
book
birthday.
bestie. There she is.
I remember this. Did it happen to fall? Didn't we have the
It
surprise
always
birthday
falls.
last year?
Last year.
It fell on my birthday list.
Right.
last year.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was tipsy.
Yeah, like we did that one on Instagram, didn't we?
No.
Or
It was
did
like
we
a
do that?
Zoom, right?
Mhm.
I
It
thought,
was
what
a
book did we do
Zoom,
last year?
and then
Oh,
my
Alicia
husband had.
Keys. Jess, didn't you and I do 2 chats last year? Like we did something on
Yeah,
Instagram.
we did the coldest winter ever.
Okay, because I think I had the Black History shirt on.
I got Anna's shirt on.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
freedom
nice.
shirt.
And she's got some awesome stuff.
No, yeah, it was on my birthday, and I was like, I jumped on really quickly, and I did not know. And you ended
That was
like
the surprise.
right on time. I had the surprise.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, JB, you were on too. I was talking about that today at the nail shop. I was like, yeah, and I always kind of said all kind of stuff because I didn't know people were on the computer.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe, look, more people are coming in. This is y'all. You have no idea how much this is making my day. Yeah. All these people that wanted that New Year's resolution and they're coming on here. You're showing up. I don't even care.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, I'm so happy to see these faces. Look.
This is
awesome.
I have to do better. And then you straight call people out. Like those of you who had the goal, I was like, right.
Right. I made sure to say that.
Thank you for that accountability.
Right. And to give them a week at least, because I'm like, if you haven't started the book, you still have 1 week to get it in. So, oh, this is awesome. Okay. Well, I think we've got enough in here where we can go ahead and get started. We kicked off the year with Feeding the Soul by Miss Tabitha Brown. I love her. Like I've just been a fan of hers, like following her on TikTok and watching her go viral, and this fame is so deserved. So it was cool to like read her story on her come up. And I found a lot of it relatable just because like I feel like, you know, many of y'all might not know my story and a lot of the regulars do, but you know, I separated from my ex-husband when my twins were just 5 months old. So I became a single mom at that point. And so for me, it's been 9 years of just like being a good person, doing the right things, taking care of them, struggling, kind of, you know, figuring life out. And it's like, when is my winning season going to come? You know, I've watched my ex-husband go through basically a marriage twice, but to the same person. And now he's got a great fiance that I absolutely love. But it's like, I'm not the one who like, you know, stepped out, left. And it's like, when is that going to come for me? So it's like, when I hear Tabitha talk about how long it took for her dream to come to fruition, it was like, yes, like I get it. You know, it's years of patience and going through stuff. And it's like, it made me feel better about the situation because you're not alone. It's like you've waited. And most people's dreams don't really happen until, you know, where they start figuring out life later. You know, so it's exactly. And Keela said, our time, not his time. So absolutely. What were y'all's initial thoughts of her book?
I don't know. I just thought it was like a comfort book.
That's what I said. I felt like me and her were having tea on like any weeknight or coffee on Saturday at Starbucks. And I was like, girl, me too. Like, you know, yes. It just felt very much like You were
conversational. Yeah.
Right.
Like you're just sitting down with a girlfriend and chatting about her life. And I mean, it's been a hard road. So to see where she's come from, you know, it's a lot. And a lot of I remember when she was talking a little bit about her husband and him being able to retire and stuff. I remember when that was like, I think Wendy Williams made that an issue, right? And that's when she clapped back. Like that clap back was epic.
Yeah.
It was the best.
They have that meme that says Wendy Williams hasn't been right since.
Yes, she hasn't. I'm like, it was like a nice, nasty, sweet, like, I just love her. I'm like, she said that so perfectly, but so sweetly, like without even just raising her voice, getting angry. It was just like, I'm gonna pray for you.
There's no rebuttal to what she said. It's Tabitha 1, Wendy -0. Like
absolutely right. That's it. It's like, what can you say to that? And I think another part of me that enjoyed her journey of like her becoming an actress and things like that and how she would change herself. And it's like the parts that we love about Aunt Tabby is like her accent. Like that to me, the way she talks is everything. And so to hear that she tried to mask that at some point to kind of make it, and then finally she just was like, I'm gonna be myself. Like that was awesome.
So it's a TV stand and it holds like a 65-inch. I had a flat screen. Okay. It's for my daughter. I still have to get her one. Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, I'm like, I'm hearing voices. Sorry, I thought
Don't think that's about the book. I was trying to say, she talking to us?
I thought she was.
I'm about to just mute real quick because it sounds like I was like, is she talking about it? But yeah, it was just so comforting to know, like, just that stuff happens. Like the stuff that happens to us, you think you need to change, and it's like, no, just be who you are. And that was a great message to like, stop. Sorry, people keep coming in, y'all. I'm excited. You know, to be yourself. And it was such a quick and easy read. I loved the recipes too. I don't think that I could ever be vegan, but I will say that I'm definitely tempted to try some of her recipes. The lobster mushroom one that she made, that sounded so good. Oh, Topeka.
I was going to ask if anybody actually tried any recipes.
Not yet.
You know, that was when I found her, like she popped up. My husband and I had gone vegan for like 6 months. And it was it was like when she boomed and she had that tempeh sandwich from Whole Foods, like the BLT. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's eating what we're eating. Let me go try this thing. And I didn't like the sandwich. But she made it sound so, I just didn't like the texture of the stuff. But she made it sound so good. And that was like 2018. That was when 2017. It was like when it just happened to be around the same time.
Wow.
That her video was popping that we had done the 6
I was like,
months.
yeah, you've been on, because I don't think I really heard about Tabitha until the pandemic. Like, I feel like that's when she really hit me, was in 2020 at some point. And I don't even know if I found her on TikTok.
It might have been 2018. I lied. It's 2018, but still. But before
yeah, it was before that though. That's still a good bit ago.
You all, I don't remember her, but you know, she talked about when she was on the show in Greensboro, North Carolina. That was the same time that I lived there, and I'm like, how did I miss you?
Is that the one when she was like interviewing people, the radio show?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm wondering if I just didn't realize who I was listening to.
Right.
Or maybe it's like what she was saying. She used to mask her accent. So if you're masking your accent, you're gonna really blend in more. Opposed to when you're like, who is this? You know, like you want to know more when someone sounds different. So
and her hair was probably straight back then too.
Yes.
Yeah, her hair was straight then.
Buster Brown, I remember that show and everything, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember her.
That's hilarious. And so much about her, like that she is now, is like what people adore about her, the hair, the voice, all of that. So it's crazy to think that she was trying to blend in, and the fact that she just never gave up on her dream too, because like, you know, moving to LA and then having to come back home and then only thinking you're going to be home for a minute and you end up being there for, what was it, 5 years or something like that?
5 years. Yeah.
at that point, I'd be ready to doggone give up. You know, most people probably would be. So the fact that she still held on to her dream and you know, her husband supported her, because that's huge, especially when you already have a child.
Yeah.
To be able to pick up, and LA is not cheap. So, you know, that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge accomplishment on her part. And so I think I'm hoping that more women, especially Black women, read her story, just because no matter how old you are, like, you can still make something of yourself. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons learned for me with reading her story is, you know, it's never too late. Like, you want to start that business, like, who cares if you're 50 or 60, you know, it's just do it.
Right.
Leave a legacy. And now she's going to leave a legacy for her children and, you know, a name. She's got a book now, like.
And a TV show for the kids. I love the show. Oh my gosh, I love the show.
Yeah, where does
look at it?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Gotcha, because I was like, I've not seen the TV show.
They have like a kids channel on YouTube, so yeah.
Yep.
Wow, I'm gonna have to look at that, because that's pretty awesome. And then she just opened her own restaurant, right?
Yeah.
She partnered with somebody.
She partnered with someone.
That's awesome. Does anybody know where it's located?
In LA.
In LA?
But
LA?
I think they have one in Philly or somewhere else. It's called Kill My Name.
Oh,
Philly.
wow.
I wish it was that close. It's
not Philly, Jamie. Okay.
No.
One of them's in Chicago and one of them's in
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
We could take a trip to Chicago. Look, Amy, go ahead and set that up for everybody, since you're the travel person in here.
I got
June,
for her restaurant and the second stop for the 2-story Starbucks Reserve. We can make it a weekend.
Yes. And I gotta get some Garrett's and some Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
What now? We got to figure out what bookstores are out there, because I know there's got to be some good Black owned bookstores out there that we could go support.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one thing that she said that I mean, you've heard it, but to read it, where she said, don't worry about your vision and what other people think about it, because God didn't give it to them.
What's that part?
And I was like, you know, because we do tend to get disappointed when people don't support us in certain things that we're doing or whatever. And but he didn't give them that vision.
That's it.
It's yours. And I can't remember if she said it, but I feel like she was like, you don't have to share it with them. It's your vision.
Yeah.
But it's not for them to necessarily believe in or buy into, because he didn't give it to them. I was like,
yeah, she nailed that.
Real time.
Yeah.
Another part that I thought throughout the story that I thought was really cool, and she made me feel like I wasn't crazy, is like, the Pisces in me, I'm very intuitive. And so I will literally have visions or dreams of how something is supposed to happen or how it's supposed to go. That's how Book Girl Magic was created. I literally woke up out of my sleep and the name came to me. Actually, the name came first, but then like the next night or something, I woke up and God was telling me lock down the handles, like, because I think I had just created the Facebook group. I hadn't done anything else. And I woke up and God was like, lock down the Instagram handles, lock down the email, and everything that I locked down. There was not a single thing, you know, that was taken or that I had to alter or change. The name was just available to me. And so it was crazy. And then like within the first month, I think Book Girl Magic, within the first month or maybe 2 months, I had like 1,000 followers. And I was like, okay, God's on to something right here. And I'm like, here we are 4 years later, and we have 23.5K followers on Instagram. And it's like, I never in a million years would have imagined. But that's, again, a vision that he gave me to like lock down. And I didn't know what was going to happen with it, because initially it was just supposed to be a book club that, you know, I started with friends to read more books by Black people and have maybe like 15 to 20 people join in on a monthly read, and it just exploded. So and then another instance of that it didn't really click to me, the whole intuition thing, but like there was another instance with my daughter in the softball team, and she didn't make the team, but again, I was given a vision of how she would get on that team, and not even like 2 months later, they ended up asking her to come back out because I followed those steps, and now she's on the team and has become one of their top players. So it's just one of those things. Yeah, it's crazy. She's training with someone who played on the women's USA team and stuff like that. So, but that I knew that trainer was our key in the door because she's also a coach on the team. So I had this vision of like, let's do it this way, and the cards ended up following the way that they were supposed to. So it was really something that kind of awoke something in me, awakened something in me, and was like, listen, when you have these visions and these things, don't just think it's like nothing. Like, I'm learning to actually listen to these things that are coming to me. So I don't know.
I think
I love that.
Yeah, because the same thing was kind of like with Cicely Tyson. If you read her book, it was like the same thing, but people never want to talk about it because you're like, oh, that sounds crazy.
You feel like it's going to be crazy, right?
Yeah, but the more you hear it, you kind of start thinking about your own experience. You're like, you know what? This happens to me. Like, and some of it too could just be your inner voice. Like you said, your intuition, trusting yourself and knowing that if you stop avoiding it, good things can happen. You're on the right path. So I think that's really cool. So I'm going to start DMing you some of my dreams.
Yeah, no, for real. Because the only person I told about it was my mom, because she was, she's a big softball fan like I am. I grew up playing it. So she was the only person that was going to feel it with passion. Like, we were both like, it was a gut punch when my daughter didn't make the team. Like, softball is our life. And a lot of her friends had made the team. So it was like, sorry, letting somebody in. So it was like a huge gut punch to us. And I was like, you know what? I see this. This is how it's going to happen. We're going to start training with her. She's a coach on the team. She's going to vouch for Tenley. Tenley's going to get on the team. But it happened so much quicker than I didn't think it was going to happen until this spring. But it actually happened within a couple of months of me having those visions. So, yeah, I've got to start listening to these feelings and things that come my way. Because, yeah.
I love that she said it, you're saying it, and I had the same experience. I know what my gifts are, but reading that helped, and I had to like tell my husband, like, he knows, my ex, but I would never like tell a stranger.
Right. They think you're crazy.
Right. And so when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? I don't have interpretation. But it's always confirmed, if that makes sense. And so that really, you said well, I'm hearing obedience when you say that you actually followed through, like you took the steps. And I think that's key, that we do get those feelings, right? And the Holy Spirit will put something on you. It's actually what I saw her leaning into, that I was like, okay, Jamie. And it happened with my book. I know well, not everybody, but a lot of people have heard like the 3 years that I had the vision, but I was like, that doesn't look right. Like,
right.
And I wasn't obedient. And then I write it in 3 weeks once I'm like, okay, like, just do what he showed you. That's where we, I think, can really gain, is just going with it, trusting it and being obedient.
Yep.
So I was inspired to do that. And for the first time, and I think it's because I was like praying after I got to that spot, like, God will forgive me for every time I didn't like follow through. Like, I was just like, nope, I don't want them thinking that. And then they're so sporadic, but then I had one. So I was like, I guess he's testing me. So I had to call the person. Like, I'm like, well, now I got to do it. That was the first time that I ever had one about a stranger. And, I had to like, it felt really good. It was like, cool, like, okay, to follow through on that and know, like, okay, God, you trusted me, right? Because I trusted you with that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's it. And then also just the patience behind it. Like, even if you see a vision, it may not happen tomorrow. So like continuing to be patient with the process. And I can totally relate with Tabitha and how long it took, for her come up, because like, I feel like I'm in a season right now where I'm finally like in my winning season, but it's taken 9 years of dating the wrong people and just not getting job opportunities that I thought were a right fit and things like that. And it's like, now I'm being recognized at work for the good things, and I'm like, it's finally coming to me. And it's like, okay, I didn't get this job 8 years ago because it wasn't a good fit for me, and it wasn't going to be something that, you know, I would end up loving and still being at 8 years later. So it's just kind of one of those things that you really have to be patient with the process. And I mean, 9 years is like beyond patient in my in my opinion, but it's everything that's happening to me that I feel like I'm in my winning season right now is so worth the wait and what I've had to go through to get here. It's just like, it's like that finally moment is here, and it's so exciting to see everything just kind of fall into place, and just from where I started to where I am now is
it's exciting incredible to see it for you.
Yeah,
you. I feel the same with Tabitha, but not just, you know, celebrity. Like I think we do a good job here of, you know, cheering each other on. I'm excited when you like you drop something in there. I'm like, yes, like, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know if y'all know, like Jamie and I partnered, you know, with book club reads and things like that too back in the day, like when this probably the first year that Book Girl Magic started or something like that. But I don't know how much y'all know about Jamie, but Jamie is also an author now of a book. Like to see her create My Piece of Happy, and now she's a whole author of like,
yeah, that was the beginning when I'm like, and then I'm thinking I'll do a book club with you. You like do your book, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. And now you've got your own. Like it's just it's amazing to see just the women of this group, just like, you know, it's more than just a book club. And that's what I tried to explain to people, is like, we have our regulars in here, but we've all become like family. So to see everybody's glow up and just it's a beautiful thing. I couldn't be happier for everybody in here.
Yes, this is for real.
So I did this like forever ago in one of our chats, and I haven't done it in a while. So I don't know if you guys follow Support Black Authors, and I know this is really hard to see, but I've got these like trivia cards. So I'm gonna pull out a trivia question or two and see if y'all know the answer. See how much y'all know about Zora. What year was Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston published? Was it A, 1937, B, 1938, C, 1939, or D, 1940?
39.
37.
Good guess.
B.
That's 1938. Anybody else? Any takers? The Almost Birthday Girl is the winner with this one. It was 1937.
Wow.
We will be reading that this year too. Probably.
So the reason I knew that was I did Reggie's.
The decades, the 10 decades.
And that was mine.
Yeah, I did that too, and I was like, I knew it was in the 30s.
Dang, I might be able to join in on that this year.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely gonna read that.
It's fun to do. I actually had 11 because of passing also counted.
Yeah, that was a good
one.
I
read one from the 20s all the way through the 2020s.
Wow. Yeah, I gotta like do research and select books because I'm very particular with what I read. Let me tell y'all something. I know this is like kind of off track, but it's still about reading. So y'all see that challenge of that Melanated Reader has with 20 books by 20 Black women, which I'm like, we do this every day. Like this is, but what I'm finding, with my reading pattern is that's really all I enjoy reading is books by Black women. Like it's so hard for me to separate. So like I've challenged myself to read at least 20 books by Black men. But like when I go into creating what I'm going to read for the month, like I just go to like Black women. Like it's hard. So I'm having to basically almost every other book read something by a Black man, which isn't bad because they're great stories, but just mentally my comfort is reading books by Black women. I just have a hard time pulling away from that. So
have you identified your 20
on that Black men?
I have not. Yeah. So I have not identified all of them. I have a good chunk. I made a post probably a few weeks ago asking for suggestions. So there's a bunch. I've done Nate Marshall, Finna. I did poetry. I've done Elin Harris, which was the second one. And right now I'm reading 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander.
Same. I started as the third wheel on that one.
Yeah, it's crazy how it starts off. I mean, I'm only like 30 pages in, but
yeah,
it's good.
I listened to, and like you said, it's totally off, but I listened to Billy Porter's Unprotected, y'all. Another good one.
I was just about to. I'm listening to it now.
Oh man!
Where are y'all listening to it on? Audible or something else?
I listen to it on Audible. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's when you want to listen to. You want to hear it in his voice.
That's good to know because.
Is he narrating that?
Yes.
Billy.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
he is talking and singing, and
it is
all
so good.
of that.
I'm gonna add that one.
I already loved him, but that book just made you just. Whew.
All right, I'm adding that one to the list.
And then I also added Andre Leon Talley and Sidney Poitier. I was like, okay, I've never read their books. Let me listen to their books too, since they passed now, and just go ahead and
knock them out.
So that'll be 3 out of the 20 for me.
Razorblade Tears was recommended. You know the author Nia Forster.
That's on sale, by the way.
Yeah, she highly recommended that book like months ago.
Which one was it?
Razorblade Tears
by S.A. Crosby, right?
Yeah.
That is actually, I believe, I bought it yesterday or today. It's on sale on Kindle.
It's like just a few bucks, I think, on Kindle.
I've heard good things about both of his books.
And the other one, Blacktop Wasteland or whatever.
Yeah.
I have that one, but I haven't read it yet. So yeah, I've heard great things about that. But Razorblade Tears, I literally just bought that, I think, yesterday.
Nyla, definitely, you should listen to Billy Porter to hear it in his voice. And there are almost like journal entry sections that start off certain chapters, and he reads it with such vulnerability and like a quiver in his voice. Like, you need to listen to it.
I'm sad I didn't buy that.
Even if he's acting, he's such a good actor. It is. I don't think he's acting though. Like he's feeling this emotion because he goes back and forth. He talks about, he's like, we're in this pandemic, and Orangina. That's what he calls Trump. Orangina is lying to us, and just like you can feel his passion in his spoken word of the book. It's another high on the list with Will and Mariah and whatever other ones that we've all said. Oh no, you got to listen to this one. Don't read it. Listen.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
add that one. Rock is the only one I'm like, don't listen to it because he reads too slow.
Listen, he will be on 1.7 if he needs to be.
They had Black male Arthur on Good Morning America yesterday. I just happened to be in the lounge yesterday morning, and like a book popped up, and then there was a guy, but it was The Violin Conspiracy. It was just released, but the name is Brendan Slocum. But I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Like a guy, I think it's about a young man that like loves, he's basically going to end up being like a blue collar worker, but then he ends up finding that he likes, like he's played the violin since he was younger. And so now like getting in high school, getting ready to graduate, he wants to like go play for a symphony, but he can't afford one. And then he finds that his great grandfather had like an old fiddle, which ended up being a, I can't think of the name of it. My daughter played violin, but it's a very expensive violin.
A Stradivarius.
That's it. And he's playing it. And this is like just the synopsis. And he, it gets stolen. And then it's like trying to figure out who stole it. But then there's a whole lot of other stuff behind it and all. And so, yeah, I was like,
yeah, that sounds good. I'll add that.
That came out Tuesday.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll add that to the list. Razorblade Tears, the ebook is $2.99. So if y'all are interested in that one, go grab it because it's on sale still.
Unfortunately, I just did the buy it with one click. I'm gonna need Amazon to start
I do that too.
3-point authentication, or it needs to get harder.
Like verify my security codes.
Right.
None of that.
Well, that cover is beautiful.
Went back and tried to buy the book again because you see somebody post it and it's like, oh, I already bought that.
Y'all can see that.
Like,
oh, it just the cover. I was trying to show y'all. That cover is beautiful for the violin conspiracy. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty.
Looked at the color purple, knowing good and hell well I already have it.
I have 2 copies of it.
I did the same thing. I was looking on the
she
shelf
said
like,
the color purple. I was like, let me make sure I have it.
Then I was like, oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
I have like 3 copies of it, but this is my absolute favorite
I like
cover.
that cover.
Yeah,
I like that cover.
Yeah,
too.
I want that one.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
I don't think they sell the one. No, probably wasn't even the first time I read it. Maybe the second time I read it. The one with the sunflower on it. I don't know why I like that.
I think I
find that one anymore.
I need to figure out where my other copy. It's around here somewhere in these many piles of. It's ridiculous, y'all. I need a whole new house for books.
Kindle.
I think I do too. And I bought it years ago. So, but we'll be reading that this year too. I think most of those reads will be later, like in the summer, fall. But we'll be reading The Color Purple and Their Eyes Are Watching God. Now, admittedly, I did not like Their Eyes Are Watching God when I first read it, but I wasn't in a place to really appreciate it. So I'm hoping this time around, like it was the beginning of my reading journey, but TK got on my damn nerves. So I just didn't understand. Like it just, so many people love him, but I found so many things problematic with him. And so that was partly, but I had also come off of a book that was completely different. That was like a 5-star read. So when I came to that, I just didn't appreciate it the way I should have. So I'm hoping with a little bit of growth that I'll have a different, I think I will, different take on it this time. So I'm excited to reread that one.
Happens.
Oh,
with the bluest eye. I hated it. And then I read it again.
Yeah. And then, yep.
I'll plug I've read The Color Purple probably 3 times. So this year will be 4 or 5. I don't know. But I listened to it for the first time at the end of last year. And there's a Samara Wiley from Orange is the New Black, all of that. Yep. She has a version, but I listened to the Alice Walker version.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
I think that's the one I have on Audible is the Alice Walker one. And let me tell you, I normally hate reading books after I've watched the film. And for me, it wasn't ruined by reading the book because it was to the T, like what the book and the movie like matched so much that it was so good to read too. I like enjoyed it. I found myself laughing out loud at parts because I'm like, damn, they really say that line. And it was just, I loved it. Yes. And I died.
Yes.
But Alice Walker says it differently than Suge says it in the movie. So I'm like, okay, this is how Alice expected. Alice said it more like, you sure is ugly. Like, they told me you were ugly. You really are.
But you are.
Suge says it like, oh, girl, I didn't know you were there.
Yeah.
Yes. Does the audio mimic the book? Because sometimes because that was a long book.
No, it did. It
did. Oh, good. Okay.
Yep.
The Samara Wiley one was too acted for me, and that sounds crazy because Will Smith is very
definitely one.
But Samara it was just too, like, I listened to the sample and I was like, I can't listen.
I can't do it, yeah.
So I picked the Alice version.
Yeah, that's the one that I have is the Alice.
Well, somebody posted that book In Search of the Color Purple as one of their January reads earlier this week. I ended up buying that too. Like the hardcover was like $3 on Amazon right now.
Wow.
I was like, let me hurry up and buy this.
That sounds interesting. Go ahead. Hold on, I'm trying to find something else since we're talking about. So has anybody read Single Black Female? Because you know that movie, it comes on Lifetime, I think this weekend.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I should read the book first or if I should just, because the movie looks like it's going to be so good. And I'm like, do I wait and read the book or do I just go ahead and watch it? I don't know.
But the movie doesn't look like the book. It's not the same story.
Oh, it's not?
Oh.
Oh, well, that's good.
Like
is the book good though?
Black Female by Tracy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the movie is different.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Okay. The movie is more like Single White Female. That movie, is a and so the book is nothing like that.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know that I won't be it won't be ruined for me by watching that, so I can do both. Okay, because I definitely saw some people talking about Single Black Female, and I was like, I really want to read that, but I just too many books, too little time, so I can't keep up.
That In Search of the Color Purple, y'all, is still $3-something for the hardcover.
$3.40.
Just that's what I'm ordering it now.
Y'all ain't shit.
This is the third book I'm getting ready to order for being on this meeting.
I almost posted it in the group and I said we don't need another book.
So
Look,
is
says the one who's
hardcover
always
old
posting.
cover or the new cover?
The chief enabler.
Right. Like I'm like
Covers on the
Master enabler.
Right. Did y'all buy 1619 by the way today?
I got it. No, I'm not buying them.
No, I'm not buying it because I already got the
have
hard back.
No, I already have
I
the hardcover
mean,
and the Audible.
I already got the
to the
audio
Audible.
and the hardcover, but I needed the ebook too. So I
See,
Renee,
but see
you did
here, okay,
not.
so listen. Here's
No,
like I
you
did
didn't.
the same thing with what's the one I'm reading right now? The Love Songs of E.B. Du Bois. I did the same thing because for me, I'd rather carry around my Kindle and read it than carry around that heavy ass book. But the book is beautiful, and I feel like I'm just gonna give it my dollars because it's such an awesome project. So I end up having 3. I'm listening to it, but I also like to follow along. And the Kindle for me is easier to just do that with. So that's why. But 1619 is a big ass book too, and I want to highlight and so it just made sense for me to buy the ebook today.
Okay. That's what
okay. So wait.
But it did make me because I did want to get, there's a children's book that mimics the adults book that I wanted to get, and Target didn't have it on sale and I was buying too many books at the time, so I was like, I'll wait till Black History Month. But in looking that up earlier on Amazon, the children's book is on sale for $13, and that's the cheapest I found so far.
Which one is that? Sorry, I'm over here buying.
The children's version of 1619.
Okay, and I have that. The water, whatever.
Born on the Water.
Yeah, I have.
Did you
that
say it was
somewhere.
on Amazon?
Yes, Born on the Water.
I bought that from
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was one of my choices, right? Yeah,
it's 13
like
for
January
the
1st.
hardcover, and at Target they're over $20. So that was a pretty good deal.
So I'm about to, in search of the color purple. I bought the hardcover, but I'm about to buy the Kindle book too. I mean, it's $2.95. Why not? Like,
why is
not?
that color purple so inexpensive?
But watch, after we buy it and they see, because it's 80%, 87% off right now. When we start buying it, the price is gonna go. They're gonna see, oh, people are interested in this book. Let me jack the price up. So y'all better go get it now.
I got that ebook like years ago. It's still on my Kindle. Like,
oh wow,
like 2000.
Love when that happens. When you go to buy something, but you already bought it, and that's the best.
I get embarrassed when that happens. I'm like, okay.
That's why I stopped sharing books so much.
So as you guys started talking about it, I was like, oh, I've had that years ago in my Kindle. I guess
ridiculous. All these books that I have that I'll never read in my lifetime. Like but my kids will have anxiety. Yeah, exactly. It really does, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then the books that just keep showing up at my house, like, I don't know. If anybody is interested in that copy of what was that book we were talking about, Rachel, from The Bachelorette? Her book. Somebody posted about it, but they sent me like double copy of it. So I'm like, I need to start giving some of these books away because they just be sending stuff to my house. I also have more sets of movie tickets that I'll probably be able to distribute. I just need to respond to their email. Netflix, the one with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, she gets married or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
They want to partner with me to, like, basically they'll give us like a Fandango code, and you can go and put the code in and get tickets to see it in theater. So I think it's between February 11th and the 15th that you can choose those dates to go see it where you are. So I'm gonna reply to that email because they sent one yesterday. They followed up today, and I still haven't responded. So I'll respond in the morning and say that we're interested, and whoever wants tickets, we'll see how many they'll give me. I guess so many of us did the pre-screening for the other thing that they're like, oh, well, you're a group.
And that was good. I thought it was going to be kind of like you know how they do like the YNs do like the scary movies and stuff. I thought it was going to be more of that, but it actually wasn't. Like,
did y'all watch it? Because I don't want to spoil.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell me yet. I want to know why they came up with that title. That's like,
what was the last movie you all did?
Girl over
it's
there.
The girl in the window across the street or something like that.
With the neighbor. Like,
it's on Netflix. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's like don't drink your juice in the hood while being whatever that was. Don't be Mr. South Central
while drinking your juice in the hood.
It has a title like that. It's like the girl in the window across the street from the girl on the train and the whatever.
It would be funny to play a game like that where you just kind of have everybody say what they think the title is, and then by the end of it, how many different interpretations.
Yeah, I'll say that was good. I watched it over the weekend. Wasn't expecting the ending at all, but it was really good. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely go watch that.
So 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Sweet Magnolias comes out on Friday. If y'all haven't watched the first, that one was really good too.
Yeah, I watched the last episode this weekend because I needed to catch up because it had been so long.
Yeah, that's probably what I need to do too because I haven't. It's been a couple years. Do y'all watch P-Valley?
Yes.
That's another one.
Yes.
They're filming now, but nobody will give us a date and when that's coming. I'm like, it's been like 2 years. Like 2020, I think, is when we were watching it during the pandemic. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Right. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Come out with some more content.
All the Queen's Men was renewed for a second season. I think they're filming now.
Did I ever watch that?
That's on BET Plus. That's with Eva.
Oh yes.
But
eye candy. And the eye candy. Yes, Eva Diva and the eye candy. Oh yes.
Yeah, eye candy that's now engaged to the girl from Sisters.
Oh, that's right. You sure did. He actually plays on that show with her.
Yeah.
He was Sabrina's?
Yeah, he was Sabrina's in the bank, the guy who she hooked up with in the bank.
I'm gonna have to I have way too many subscriptions, so that's another one that I'm gonna have to. I had BET Plus for like a second, but that wasn't on my radar, so obviously I'm going to have to go back and watch.
Yeah, that one was of Queen's Men. That one was good, and then the one with Robin Thicke's ex-wife. Sorry, I should know her name.
Paula.
Yes, Paula Patton.
Yep.
Sacrifice, where she's an attorney.
That's good. I haven't watched that yet.
Oh yeah, that's good. She's like an attorney for high profile, like an entertainment attorney, but then she can't recall how her parents died with her in the vehicle, but she wasn't in the vehicle, but she keeps having dreams like she was and dealing with all of these different entertainment people, and some are like drug dealers and all. But yeah, that one's good. And she's dressing her butt off in that one. Yes.
Wait. This is why reading doesn't get done as much because I'm watching TV.
Exactly why reading doesn't get done much.
But I'm actually on a reading kick now where I enjoy reading more. Like there's nothing on TV right now that other than like weekday shows, but there's nothing that I want to binge watch right now that's like really grabbed my attention. So reading has taken priority. I was able to knock out 5 books last month, which was good.
It's totally not book girl magic centric, but Hacks on HBO. If no one's watched that one's really good.
What's that about?
With Jean Smart, she plays like a Vegas comic. Jean Smart from Designing Women. Plays Charlene. She plays like this Vegas comic who is kind of falling out of favor a little bit, and then this writer who gets sent to her. It's a girl power show. If you check it out, and I have watched it. Like it can get really serious at moments, but then other moments I'm like rolling over on the couch laughing. I watched about 7 Hacks, Hacks. I watched
Hacks. I thought you were saying hats, like HATS. Hacks. Okay.
Hacks. So she's like this mega millionaire. She's got like a QVC show and all this stuff, but she's made her career really in Vegas. But then it kind of goes into when she was trying to get into the business and all. I like it. I sat up one night till like 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, can't believe I'm still up watching this show.
We have similar tastes, so I probably would like it.
It's good.
Sweet.
It's a girl power more than a book girl magic.
Yeah.
Power, you know what I mean?
That's fine. We watch it all. We embrace it all. So
good show.
Good stuff. That's exciting. I need some more stuff to watch because right now I'm not feeling anything, but there's a bunch of stuff. Like I like those true crime stuff too, and there's a bunch of stuff I think on Netflix that's coming out beginning of February. Did y'all watch the Janet Jackson documentary? That was good too.
I didn't. I recorded it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
good.
That's it.
It was good.
Is it fully out, or is there like another episode?
It's just 4 parts, right? But it's like, it's really like, yeah, I think they did 2 parts and 2 parts at the same, I guess, right? It was 2 hours and 2 hours, but it's 4 parts on demand or whatever. I was side-eyeing though when they was talking about Joe and they were doing the interview and they were talking about discipline. Yeah, it was like they were talking about discipline and they sugarcoated it. I was like, y'all know Joe be beating your ass. And you
like y'all call him Joe. Like, y'all call him his government name. Like,
right. That's show right there. Why are you calling your dad Joe?
Right, exactly. Like,
and I think it was Randy who was the brother that was kind of taking her, went back to the old house and
Randy.
Yeah,
produced it with her.
Yeah, at one point he was saying your dad, and that was so
yes, he did at the beginning when they were
he was like, you know, your dad, blah blah blah, your dad, and I was like, what? But then
like,
at another point he spoke about him, so I was like, okay, that's weird.
Right.
Yeah, I think he kind of gave up on Joe a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I really think she was focusing more on the life in general and how he is instrumental in who they are now.
Right.
More so than, you know, we already know what Joe was like.
I mean, we already got that 5-hour.
That's her dad. She still loves him. You're not gonna talk about that. Plus, she's the baby.
Yeah,
the baby always has all the mouths.
Girls, and I think that's why he was saying your dad.
An entirely different experience with Joe.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Entirely different, although, and she even got choked up talking about it. She's grateful. I got that she's grateful for everything she has. So it's like no regret. However, that's not what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like she got choked up when it was like, I wanted to go to college and law school. Like I wanted to have a life outside of entertainment, and the whole album, like she didn't get to pick the picture. She didn't get like, so it's like she adjusted, but that wasn't.
Yeah, like Control, when she played that when that clicked, like that made so much more sense to me after hearing her say that. And I was like, man, I really was paying. I've heard the song for years, know the words and stuff like that, but I really was like listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, yo, she's taking shots right here. Like when you listen to what she's saying, like she's legit telling you, this is what my life has been.
Somebody to run from that and then that pattern of control with the husbands, I thought was interesting as well.
Never thought about that.
It's very common.
Good point, Jamie.
Girls and their dads.
Yeah, you're right. She has. There's been a pattern.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting too with the whole Super Bowl Justin Timberlake thing. Like she told him not to put out a statement and just kind of, because like everybody is coming for Justin Timberlake.
We still
kind of, you know, when they were talking about Britney Spears and all of the stuff that he put Britney through, and then Janet's name came up, and it was kind of like they were pointing the finger at him, like, why didn't you do more? But then this documentary, she was kind of like, why would you do that? Like, don't do that. Like, let me just kind of take the fall for it. And it was like,
we don't care. Like is still mad at him because
I saw that meme.
Anyway. We don't care.
I saw that meme
for her.
Like Janet's like, no, y'all let him go. And we're like, oh no, we're not letting him go.
Right.
As soon as she said that, I said no.
Act like he was black. Didn't that happen? It's like, oh wait, let me get on back over here with my peoples.
Right.
Like I do not like Justin.
Yeah.
Thought I saw some type of commercial. I don't know what it was for the designer that did her outfit for the Super Bowl, and he was like, my designs don't fall apart. It's almost, because you know, like anytime they're gonna start coming out with a movie, now people are coming out of the woodwork with stuff to say. So I haven't saw anything else, but he's basically leading into what other people believe that it was on purpose.
Not
I think there was another documentary. I think there's another documentary on like Hulu or something. Don't quote me on that, but I think. And
no, I think there
is. And that's when that designer was talking about like the whole my wardrobes don't fall apart. So they were blaming her to a certain extent in another documentary that came out maybe a few weeks ago.
How can you even say fall apart? Because he did this. Like, it's like,
he did.
Like it was meant to.
I don't know what the discussion was between them, but I just don't. On the flip side of malfunction, but why would she need to do that as a PR stunt? Like where she was in her career and everything. I'm not buying that. Like, attention.
She was at the top, so it's just
I just never understood. Like he's got to know that it moves though.
Like the way you cut it.
Yeah. Like, but I'm like, was there something supposed to be under? And the words gonna have you naked by the end of this song. Rip.
Exactly.
It's just it has boggled my mind for years.
Because honestly, when it happened, I was waiting for it. When they performed it, I thought, okay, the way they're moving and the way the song ends,
some type of tearaway or whatever. Yeah.
And what's funny is now too, like how that happened, but then the last, what was it? Was it last year's Super Bowl or time before that? And J-Lo and them was
last year
dancing like half naked because my daughter was like, I thought we were watching football. I was like, yeah, we are. Give it a minute.
I'm ready for this year's show though.
Yeah.
A lot. I want to see what that's gonna be.
Should be
My sister said that she heard there's going to be a football game at the Snoop Dogg concert.
Right.
Right.
At the Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Kendrick Lamar concert.
Yes.
Yeah, I
this weekend
is a picture of like
next weekend.
Guys play football, and then the rest of it is like this big with the artist.
Yeah, my husband is gonna be out of town. He's gonna be flying in that day, and his flight is at like 4:30. And I was like, "You don't move to earlier flight so we can make sure we like sitting down and like watching the game."
Right.
He's no.
Should be a good one though. The playoffs have been really good, so it should be interesting to watch.
I'm from Cincinnati, so this is like a dream for us. I'm like, oh my God.
And welcome, Cam.
Well,
thank you.
Cam is in one of my
Joe Burrow, Louisiana. Give Riddell a shoe.
Listen, Cam is in one of my sports groups. So we've been she's been celebrating that on some of the posts in there. I have a lot of Facebook groups, but yeah.
I'm gonna if one more thing, we can just kind of be off topic but on topic. Black History Month. My sister just texted me this Hallmark.com. Scroll down
the
free card pack. I don't know if that was already
someone just posted that in the group.
Oh, okay.
So if you go, because I actually when I was sitting here getting ready to start, I was filling out the thing and actually had done it. So y'all look for that post in there. It's in the group, the link and everything. Yeah.
All right.
I think they did that last year too.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't get it last year.
I got them last year, and I don't remember who I sent them to. But when I looked at the ones they had for this year, I was like, "Oh yeah." Like you said, like right before I jumped on.
Somebody had.
But it said 30. It could take 30 days for them to come.
Yeah, to come.
Does anybody have their COVID test yet from the government?
Yes, I got mine.
I haven't got mine yet.
Mine came in today.
Oh look, that's Cam's got hers.
I don't have mine yet. I got it, and I ordered the day of.
I know I need some of them N95 masks though.
When it came in.
My husband's job sent the N95 masks.
They were supposed to be able to pick them up. Like I have some that I ordered on Amazon right before the price went up. So I got a bunch like for $20, but now they're like 80 on Amazon. So you're supposed to be able to go to testing centers and get them, but I'm not sure when they're available. So
I heard Kroger's too.
Ooh,
I was in CVS and they're supposed to be handing them out.
Yeah, our public libraries gave out bags of them. Like they weren't the prettiest ones, but they were like, "Oh, there's your mask."
Yeah, I don't even care. I just want some, like, so the kids can wear them to school.
They had so I have probably like, thankfully, 50 masks.
Wow. Yeah, because Amazon, they done jack that price up.
They did. Last time I bought it myself, I bought 20 for $10, and I went to like buy again. It was $70.
Yep, that was the same. Like I think I got 20 for $20, and it was still, pricey. But then now they're like 80. I'm like, really? For the same thing that I just bought? Doggone pandemic. At least there's not a shortage in like hand sanitizer. That was the worst when the pandemic first hit. Like toilet paper and hand sanitizer, you couldn't find it nowhere. So now, like paranoia, I like stay on Sam's Club and ordering toilet paper, like make sure I have the bulk pack.
I think that was the worst because you're used to spending like $18 for 50 packs. And then when you were going to the store, like 12 little rolls of toilet paper was like $20. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah. And then water, there was a shortage in water. There was so much. So now like that's stuff that I just like keep at least a couple of cases in there and like,
yeah. I'm in Texas, so we're supposed to get ice tonight, and we're not ready based on what happened last year. So the stores again are like, as soon as they were like ice, everybody was like, okay, I'm taking off work, I got to go to Walmart. So the stores again are just like wiped out.
That's Atlanta.
Just make sure you turn on your faucets to put a drip throughout the night.
They don't freeze.
I've been in Dallas for years, but I'm from the Midwest, so I knew that. But a lot of people in Texas don't know that when the temperature drops below freezing, to make sure you have your sinks drip so that it doesn't freeze.
Drip. And my dad had a friend, because we had we were in that same storm. I'm in Louisiana, but my dad's friend is a plumber, and he said, prop open your attic. Like put a book or something to keep it open a little bit so that the heat that's coming from your unit can get, because your attic is going to be cold just like it's hot in the wintertime, so that some of the heat can get into that attic space as well. In addition to, he said, drip, but also try to let some heat get in there. So I had propped mine up with some of my old law school books and just like kept that door kind of ajar a little bit, just so it wouldn't be as cold up there.
Well, I'm gonna have to make sure husband go up there and check some things out first.
Right, because I'm like, let some bat come flying out of there, and I would go crazy. No, ma'am.
So that I let that
thank you, ladies, appreciate it.
Oh no, you're welcome. I've got friends trying to come in from Dallas tomorrow and Friday. They're like, we hope we can make it. So
crazy.
Yeah, it hit us last night, this morning, and all.
And it's supposed to be, I think, 70 or 69 here tomorrow. So,
but it was 80 degrees here today.
Yeah, but it don't make no sense. Like I go outside and see people walking around in shorts.
It's gonna be 80 today, and then like 30 on Friday. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yesterday it was 60 here, and now today it's the wind chill is 2.
My God, where are you?
Kansas City.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the pool, the pond is all like clear. And it's like, oh, but today it's freezing. And I'm like, okay, you can like slowly see it trying to freeze itself over.
Wow. Craziness. Gosh, an hour has gone by really quickly.
And we barely talked about that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like we talked about it for 5 minutes.
But we bought books.
Yes, we did. Enough books.
We bought books.
Okay, can
I share one? That's what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
We pulled a little stuff, and I support it, and I read it, but it was like, okay, this is like, it was a little bubble gummy to me.
I was waiting for somebody to say that, because I get that a lot. And I can relate to everything like real.
Some of
it wasn't for me, but I get that with my own life. Like, no, it could be like that.
Yeah, and it
could be because
when you've been through some,
I've gone through so it's things that I know, but a lot of people.
And I was gonna say that
I'm like, okay, yeah, my daughter's 29, but okay, now if she could read some of this stuff.
Right.
But
I completely agree with that. There were some nuggets that I pulled out, and especially the place that I'm in my life, like especially her making it later and going through this journey, like that stuff was relatable. The visions, the dreams, like I've not, that part of it. But yes, you're absolutely correct. Like a lot of it was like, yeah, I know this. Like I know, a lot of what she said.
I sent it to a friend who is going through a tough time. Like at certain parts, I was like, let me mail her this book,
Right.
And again, not like she didn't, like I said earlier, not like I didn't already know this, but sometimes I feel like this is one of those when I'm down in the dumps.
Yep.
I can pick it up and be like, you know what? Thank you for that reminder, Dad.
The one thing that stuck
make
out,
their lobster pasta.
But then
the one thing that stuck out to me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I thought it started out at the beginning. I was like, bubble gummy. But then I took a break for a couple of hours or whatever, and then I started reading it or listening to it for reminders.
Yes.
Then I really, really, really started enjoying it. Like I gave it a 5. Because I really enjoyed it for reminders. And I was about to park at Publix the other day when she said, "We are the future ancestors, behave accordingly." And I was like, you better preach.
Hey, yeah.
That was my part. That's what I was
like, am I going to let me not hit anybody out here in this parking lot?
That's hilarious. Any other final thoughts on our January book of the month? I'm just stoked that so many of y'all showed up, because normally it's like, 6 of us on here, the regulars that we have. So I'm just so happy to see new faces, and I hope y'all continue to come out. Like, it's a book club, but obviously you guys could see, for you first timers, like, we talk about so much more than just books. It's like a good time with your girlfriends. With that being said, our February book of the month is Wench, if y'all can see that. Yes. Oh, I love your cover. That's the one I wanted. So the author will be on with us next month. So if you read this, I've heard it's great. Someone recommended it to me years ago, and I finally just got to the point where I
read it then. So now I'm like refreshing, because I'm like,
look,
I had to go to my Goodreads. Like, I think I read that. It said 2015. I was like, okay, yeah. I'm listening to it this time.
Yep. So it'll be awesome to have the author on there with us. She's been awesome through this process. She has another book that's coming out, I think in March or April, maybe. So we'll probably discuss that too when she comes on. So that will be, I think it's March 3rd, maybe.
The Audible good?
I don't know, but I probably will end up listening to it. I think it's on Scribed, so I probably will listen to it.
Yeah, I still need to get that.
Yeah, Scribed is awesome. If y'all like, they have most of the books, the newer stuff on there. So it's like the Netflix for books, for audiobooks. So you pay $7.99 a month, and you have, they call it unlimited, but you usually get at least 2 or 3 before they cut you off with certain selections. So you can listen to newer stuff, but then like if you've read maybe 2 new things, you have to, like, they kind of shorten the catalog and you read older stuff. But see, I mix up my reading so much with newer and older, it doesn't really do that to me. But if you're interested in Scribe and a free trial, I think I can go into my account and give you like at least maybe 60 days free trial, if not 30. So if anybody wants to try out Scribe, let me know. Okay. Yeah, I'll be glad to send the link so that y'all can, I'll post it in the group so that y'all can try it. But I've had Scribed probably from the beginning of when I started Book Girl Magic, because I did a partnership. I won something.
You partnered, and that's how I got it.
Yeah, like I partnered with them. They sent me I won something. I think Lupita posted something on her Bookstagram. I ended up winning it, and then I got like a free year. That's what it was. I got a free year of Scribe with what I won, and then I ended up just subscribing after that for $8. It's like Tabby's book was on there, so that's how I listened to it, was through that. So they have a lot of good selections, newer stuff, or stuff even within.
Cancel mine every month, and I don't.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I just feel like I get more bang for my buck out of it. Most stuff, I can find on there. So Wench is our book of the month. Jess, are you still on here?
She had a meeting.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to see if I could find my copy of March's book, but we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I mean, that's everything for me. So thank y'all so much for joining. I hope you have a great rest of the night, and we'll see you in 1 month.
I just wanted to say, as a first timer, I thought there was going to be like hundreds and hundreds of people here, but I'm really, really glad that it's a intimate group. I'm glad that I was able to join.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for joining. It's awesome for us to see, because we usually, like, we have our regulars that come on here, and it's so nice to see new faces. But that's what I tried to explain to everybody. I mean, 70 people registered, but we still had like 22 that came on. So I'm more than happy with that. That's still huge for this. But that's what we try to tell people. It's like a casual conversation. It's our time to just kind of chill. We talk about the book, but we talk about so much more. So it's just like, a nice hour of just hanging with your girlfriends and having fun. So thanks y'all for joining, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.